dina tayamara, hoira dila chid machene tayamara, hoira dila chid machene tayamara, hoira dila chajir jirda tayamara, hoira dila chajir jirda tayamara, hoira dila kvishem perish tayamara, hoira dila kvishem perish tayamara, ela swan elia sawanana, hodela salia sawanana, dela swan elia sawanana, hodela salia sawanana, dela swan elia sawanana, hodela salia sawanana, hoisara sharamaido, 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 hoisara sharamaido,
Hey everybody, welcome to Sama, Seattle Sacred Music and Art. I'm Derek Mazzoni and I'm here with Dunava. Thanks for being here. It looks, the music you're making is really beautiful. It's ancient. The band, it takes its name from the Bulgarian name for the Danube River. You're a Balkan women's choir made up of singers with broad musical and performance experience and a passion for intricate harmonies and varying vocal techniques. Obviously, we can see that you're based in the Pacific Northwest, you're based in Seattle, and I'm here with Jen, Jenny, Dina, Olivia, and Teddy. Thank you. Welcome to Sama.
Thanks for having
Thanks,
us.
Derek.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for having us.
How did the ensemble come together?
I can speak to that. I think in the group assembled, I'm the oldest member here. There has always been well, I don't know about always, for the last 20 or 30 years, there's been a pretty vibrant Balkan music and dance community in Seattle. And there is an ensemble, a dance ensemble called Radost Folk Ensemble. They've always had a women's choir. There was a lull about 15 years ago where there were not very many women singing for the Radost Ensemble, and I just thought that's a shame. I really love singing this music, so I put the word out to start the choir up again. And here we are. We are currently, I would count us at 13 members. We've been singing together since 2005.
That's a long time.
Years. Yeah, it's an institution now.
But let's go with our first song, and this is Ergen Dedo, which means what?
Bachelor grandpa, right?
Yes, yeah. Literally translated bachelor grandfather. It's a song that talks about, I guess, an older man going to the village square to dance in the horo with the people in the village who are dancing in a circle. And he, of course, wants to dance next to the youngest girl, Angelina. So it's a bit of a teasing song. And the song also emulates some of the instruments that are playing for the horo. So you'll hear some odd meter. You'll hear us imitating the tapan. Doom taka taka ta 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 doom. Yeah, that's in the song. So it's a dancing folk song.
Perfect. Dunava, ensemble.
Ergendedo cervendedo etaka pataka na crivile calpaceto etaka pataka Ergendedo cervendedo etaka dum taka taka pataka na crivile calpaceto etaka pataka na do etaka pataka na crivile calpaceto etaka.
Dunava, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, how have you been surviving? How, not even as people, food, shelter, money, but as artists that do this work, how have you been surviving this process?
The first thing that springs to mind is that we immediately, even before there was a mask mandate, we got together, and that's the footage that you saw in the woods there. So we were staying distant, so we've been trying to be responsible about not endangering anyone, but we couldn't not sing together. There was just there's something about it that is a part of our week, a part of our lives. But since then, we've been doing Zoom meetings like many other choirs, just to keep in each other's lives.
You sent a video of how you're actually trying to pull this off using phones and Zoom technology. I love the video. So let's share this right now. This is.
Shall I say a bit about this first, or do you want to?
No, go for it. Let's say.
Yeah. Just as a background, because as everybody may know, it's hard. It's really impossible to sing over Zoom because there's internet latency, and like you couldn't pull off anything simultaneous over Zoom itself. And unless you all are connected to a server, have Ethernet, and have some special software downloaded, it's a pretty technical feat to get to sing together. So Olivia came up with the technique of getting 3-part harmony, which is the most important thing, through a telephone. And so we're going to demonstrate that. This is one way that we've tried to sing together and still get that harmony fix that we need with just the use of Zoom and a telephone. So
okay,
I think the rest of the video will explain the rest of it.
All right, let's watch it. Dunava, ensemble, sales, circuit, music, and art.
Can you give me the note again? No. Yes. Hello. Going on mute. I am aiming the phone closer to my computer mic this time as well.
Great.
All right, Meredith, good to go? All right, turning down my volume.
You need to mute yourself on the call, too.
And muting on the call. Boom.
Что sigoro powiachnała, korole, powiachnęła, poselna.
You did it.
Yeah.
The first time we did that, it was very satisfying, because up until then, the only thing we could figure out to do is one person would sing and everyone else would turn themselves on mute and sing a second part. So we were really restricted to how much harmony basically you're just hearing yourself and that one person who's singing out there into the void.
Okay, so let's play. You sent me some videos of you performing. Obviously, you can't perform right now, but let's watch this video of you performing. It'll be about 4 minutes long, and then we'll continue with this conversation. Dunava, ensemble, sales, circuit, music, and art. All right, that's beautiful, and that's a lot of work. I mean, you gotta remember everything. You gotta remember the song, the dance moves, and if one screws up, then everybody screws up, and it's just like this. Like, I saw the tension in your eyes there. It's like,
oh, that's not good then.
no, but it wasn't like just being in the business. It was like, okay, but that was great. What was that shot?
What was that? What? I'm sorry.
Where was that? Where was that film?
Oh, that was at Finney. Yeah.
Finney
Finney Neighborhood Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. The concert was sponsored by Seattle Folkloric Society in 2019. That was our last concert that we did live together.
And our first dance performance ever.
First ever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to be part of the repertoire now? Dancing?
I hope so.
Yeah.
We got to relearn it, though.
It looks like fun.
That one may not have. Yeah, we may need to start from scratch and learning it again, though. That was a long time ago.
That's fine. You'll have an audience for it, obviously. So you sent more stuff, and I want to keep talking, but I want to play a few things. We might see some other things that we've seen before, which is great because it needs to be seen again. It's a rewind, so let's do it. Dunava, ensemble. Is this music? Is there a lot of it? Are you part of a scene globally, or is it like things? It's just not being. It's not being held up as much because the reason I bring this up, and maybe Teddy could speak to this, in Poland under communism, there was this huge, like, the West is bad. We will lift up our traditional artists and we'll create this thing. And then once 89 came in, the kids were like, screw that. I want to hear rock and roll. I want to hear hip hop. I want to go into that. And then a little later, their kids kind of were like, wait a second, this is great. I want this. This is my culture. This is my history. I want to present this. Where are we in that story right now with this music in the Balkans and in the East?
Well, I can speak mostly for Bulgaria, obviously. And you're right. At first, many young people, and to some degree, including me, at young age, I wasn't interested in the folk music. And I guess kids, to some degree, think that it's an ancient thing and not interested. But definitely people love it. And like every other music, you have lovers for life, people that can't live without music, and others that just like something else, like pop, rock, something else.
Okay.
Universal.
So it's alive it's alive in Bulgaria. It's not
Definitely live. Maybe not the choir music, but the folk music will be present at almost any wedding still nowadays.
Okay.
So I think that speaks enough.
Okay. So it's going to live on. It's not under threat or anything like that. That's great to hear. Everybody else, what drew you to this? You could do a lot of different choir type of work. What drew you to this? Anyone?
I can start off.
Okay.
So I was lucky enough to be part of the Yale Slavic Chorus, which is one of the oldest American groups singing the kind of music that we sing. It was started by some of the first women who were admitted to Yale as undergraduates in 1969. That's how late that was.
Wow.
And at that time, people were going to these countries and bringing back records from the old state choirs. And, at first it was the Yale Russian Chorus that was the men's group. They brought back these records to the US. And as soon as women were admitted, they were recruiting them to be in this group. And so the group has been singing continuously in many iterations for over 50 years now. We just had our 50th reunion a couple years ago. And that's really amazing to be a part of that lineage. So I was singing with a different folk group, an American folk group, and we did a joint concert with them. And I'm just one of those people who was hooked from the first listen.
Okay.
So got involved with it when I moved out here.
Okay. So were you looking for something like this when you moved out here? Was it one of the impetuses to kind of like, hey, I want to be here instead of someplace else?
Well, I don't know if it was a deciding factor in moving here, but actually I was introduced to this group by Jen, who's also on this call. We met in Georgia, actually. So we both independently studied Georgian folk music. You saw a sample of that in the round dance that we did.
Yeah.
And so we met and became friends on a trip there when I was living in India and she was living in Seattle. And she was the only person I knew in Seattle for a long time. But when I was looking to change jobs, and this was on my short list of places, and it was definitely a big draw to know that there would be this community that I could make music with. Awesome. I came here. So I'm really grateful for that.
Awesome. I want to play this video that you sent to me, and it is your music video. It's called Prochu Samoma for Mom. Tell me what that means.
Prochu se moma nedelya is it's a Bulgarian song. Actually, it's our title track, if you will, for the CD. It's a story of, kind of. It's the story of a young couple going into the forest and finding a clearing and seeing a wedding. in the forest. And there's in the last verse, he lifts her veil and gives her a kiss, and it's very sweet. And we use it to feature the artwork of our CD, which is done by one of our members, Fiore Gray. She did this elaborate paper cutting.
Show it, please.
I can hold it up right here, but you'll see it in the video much better. So she said something like she went through 6 X-Acto knives to create this actual, honest, like real life paper cut of this bride, and all the things that are in her veil, the birds and the roses and the eggs. And the booklet inside also features some paper cuts as well. So
awesome.
So this is our artwork title track video.
Let's watch it. Winter, spring, pandemic, herd immunity,
Yes.
whatever you want to call it. What do you want to do? What's the dream with Dunava?
I'm desperately trying to come up with some kind of plan because I'm really ready to sing again. It's been a long time zooming and standing outside with masks on, and singing with a mask is just not a good experience. So that's just not a way to be. But we're getting vaccinated. I think we're well on our way. I'm hoping later in the summer, depending on what the guidelines are, we can be outside without masks on to sing. I think right now singing is, a high risk activity. So any guidance I see for coughing or sneezing, I apply to singing.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not okay to cough and sneeze next to somebody, you can't sing next to them either. But hopefully by the end of the summer, enough of us will be vaccinated and the case incidences will be down that we can pop up in a park somewhere. And then we need to rehearse because depending on what we do, it takes a lot of brain space to keep all these words and other languages in your mind. Not so much a problem for Teddy, but the rest of us for whom this is a foreign language, we're going to need some rehearsal time. And then hopefully an outdoor concert, I'm hoping, before the summer is out. But we'll see. I can't promise. We just need to all be careful.
Okay, so thank you for being here. I'm going to say bye now. Be well, stay healthy, continue to make great music, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you, Derek. Have a good night.